Imagine a moment in your life so critical, so defining, that a single decision could change your destiny forever. What would you do if the choice before you could cost you everything, even your life? Today, I will reveal to you the timeless principles hidden in one of history's most courageous decisions, a story that will teach you not only about bravery, but about the power of decision, faith, and unwavering persistence. Very same principles that can transform your life today. In the year 1774, the air in the American colonies was thick with tension, anticipation, and fear. The British Crown sought to bend men to its will, using promises, threats, and intimidation. One man, Samuel Adams, found himself standing at the crossroads of destiny. A man faced with a choice that would test not only his courage, but the very fiber of his character. Colonel Fenton, acting on behalf of Governor Gage, approached Adams with a proposition, a deal meant to silence him, to lure him away from the righteous cause of freedom with personal gain. A promise of comfort, of advantage, of safety. Imagine being Samuel Adams in that moment. On one side, you have personal wealth and safety, the comforts of obedience. On the other, a path fraught with danger, with uncertainty, with the very real threat of death by hanging. How many of us today would find ourselves capable of making such a decision? Most would hesitate, some would evade, many would choose comfort over principle. Yet Adams did something extraordinary. He demanded the colonel's word of honor that his answer would be delivered, exactly as he gave it, no distortion, no compromise. Adams' response was simple, yet monumental. Then you may tell Governor Gage that I trust. I have long since made my peace with the King of Kings. No personal consideration shall induce me to abandon the righteous cause of my country. And tell Governor Gage it is the advice of Samuel Adams to him, no longer to insult the feelings of an exasperated people. Pause here and reflect. Loyalty, integrity, faith in a higher purpose. Adams' words echo through time because they reveal the foundation of all great decisions, clarity of purpose, and an unshakable faith in the righteousness of one's path. This, my friend, is not just history. This is a lesson in personal power, in mastering your own destiny through the unwavering courage to decide. Governor Gage's fury was immediate. He issued a proclamation promising pardon to anyone who would lay down their arms except, of course, for Samuel Adams and John Hancock, whose offenses were deemed too grave for mercy. The threat hung over them like a storm cloud. The risk of death was real, imminent. Yet in the face of such fear, Adams and Hancock acted. They convened a secret meeting with their most loyal supporters. Adams locked the door and, with the key in his pocket, declared that no man would leave until a decision was reached to organize a Congress of the colonists. Consider the magnitude of this moment. Here were men, ordinary in many respects, yet extraordinary in their decisiveness. Fear, doubt, hesitation, these could have paralyzed them. But Adams and Hancock were immune to the poison of indecision. Their courage, their clarity of purpose, inspired others to follow. By the end of that meeting, the plan for the First Continental Congress was set in motion. September 5th, 1774, Philadelphia became the stage upon which destiny itself would be written. Now, imagine translating this principle to your own life. How often do we hesitate, waiting for certainty before acting, delaying decisions because of fear of failure or judgment? The world does not reward the hesitant. The universe responds to those who act with clarity, decisiveness, and faith. Just as Adams knew that the cause of freedom required immediate, unwavering action, so too must you recognize that your dreams, your ambitions, your ultimate success depends upon your willingness to decide quickly, firmly, and fearlessly. Meanwhile, across the colonies, other leaders faced similar crucibles. Thomas Jefferson, in Virginia, found himself threatened with prosecution for publishing a summary view of the rights of British America. Patrick Henry, his colleague, boldly declared, "If this be treason, then make the most of it." Notice the mindset here: commitment beyond fear. The understanding that the cost of inaction is far greater than the risk of bold action. These men understood a principle that Napoleon Hill would later codify. The habit of decision is the bridge between desire and achievement. Fast forward to the First Continental Congress. 56 men gathered, each aware that their decisions could lead to imprisonment, exile, or death. Among them, the seeds of a new nation were planted. It was a mastermind in action, diverse minds, united in purpose, focused on a single, life-altering goal. They planned, they debated, they persisted. And ultimately, Richard Henry Lee rose on June 7, 1776, and proposed independence. Here again was a lesson for all of us. Decisions, when combined with organized planning, courage, and a shared vision, become unstoppable forces. Jefferson, entrusted with drafting the Declaration, knew that the act of signing it would mean risking his life. And yet, he acted with meticulous care, with deep thought, and with unwavering faith in the righteousness of the cause. Jefferson produced a document that would change the world. On July 4, 1776, those 56 men affixed their signatures, each staking life and liberty on a single decision. And in that moment, a nation was born, not merely on paper, but in the hearts and minds of those who believed, who acted, who refused to be paralyzed by fear. This, my friends, is the ultimate lesson of the Declaration of Independence. Decisions backed by desire, faith, and persistence are the currency of true freedom, both national and personal. Every challenge you face today, every opportunity, every fork in the road of your life, is a moment demanding decisive action. Will you wait for safety? Or will you act with courage, knowing that your future depends upon your decision today? Let us analyze these principles. What Adams, Hancock, Jefferson, and Henry demonstrated are 6 universal laws that Napoleon Hill would later identify as pillars of success: desire, decision, faith, persistence, the mastermind, and organized planning. Observe closely. Their thought was transformed into action, action into results, results into freedom. The pattern is undeniable, and the same pattern is available to you. No miracle is required, only faith in yourself, clarity of purpose, and the courage to act. Those who delay, who hesitate, who seek endless counsel without committing, become victims of indecision. Indecision, Hill teaches, is the thief of opportunity. Observe the youth of today. Many leave school with no clarity of purpose, drifting from one occupation to another, never deciding what they truly want. Consequently, they remain average, never achieving the financial, personal, or spiritual success they could have attained. Contrast this with the decisiveness of the 56 men who signed the Declaration. Their clarity, their courage, their commitment ensured not only the birth of a nation, but the creation of a mindset that empowered every soldier who fought under Washington. Freedom was not given, it was claimed through conscious, deliberate, and daring decisions. And so, I challenge you now. Consider your own life. What decisions have you postponed? What dreams have you allowed to wither due to fear or uncertainty? Know this: the same principles that guided Adams, Hancock, Jefferson, and Henry are at your disposal. The habit of decision, combined with desire, faith, and organized planning, will guide you to success beyond imagination. Act with the courage of Adams when the stakes are high. Organize your mastermind like the Continental Congress. Plan meticulously. Act decisively. Persist relentlessly. Remember, your decisions today determine the life you will lead tomorrow. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitively almost always get what they want. The world rewards the decisive. The universe conspires for those who act with clarity of purpose. Have you ever wondered what separates ordinary people from the extraordinary? What invisible force allows some to achieve what others only dream of? Today, we continue the story of men who, against fear, uncertainty, and impossible odds, made decisions that changed the world, and we will uncover how you can use the same power to transform your life. After the Declaration of Independence was signed, the challenges were only beginning. Freedom was never granted lightly. The 56 men who had dared to commit their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor to this cause faced armies, spies, and the constant threat of death. Yet what made them extraordinary was not simply courage, it was the power of a mastermind. Napoleon Hill would later explain, this principle is the harmonious coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people working towards a definite purpose. The Continental Congress was the perfect example. Each delegate brought his own experience, wisdom, and vision. Each was fearless in their pursuit of a single, life-altering objective: independence. They did not act in isolation. They planned, they debated, they supported one another. Their collective mind became greater than the sum of its parts, and that power ensured the eventual success of Washington's armies and the birth of a nation. Think about this principle in your own life. How often do we try to achieve great goals alone, ignoring the power of collaboration? The truth is, no one achieves extraordinary success by working in isolation. Surround yourself with minds that challenge you, inspire you, and complement your weaknesses. The mastermind is not just a concept, it is a catalyst for exponential growth, a force multiplier that turns desire into results. Now, let us return to the story of Thomas Jefferson. Tasked with drafting the Declaration, he labored under immense pressure, knowing the consequences of failure. Yet he drew upon the collective wisdom of his colleagues, their guidance and critique shaping his words. Jefferson's process was methodical, deliberate, and unwavering. This teaches us an important lesson. Organized planning transforms thought into action. Without a plan, desire remains a dream, faith remains idle, and courage without direction can falter. Consider this. My friends, every significant achievement in history began with a decision, followed by organized planning and persistent action. The Declaration of Independence was not an accident, it was a product of deliberate thought, collaboration, and unwavering determination. And the same principles apply to your life today. Whatever your goal, financial freedom, career advancement, personal mastery, it begins with a decision, followed by a plan executed with persistence and the support of a mastermind. Even as the Continental Congress debated, fear and doubt whispered in the minds of some delegates. What if the colonies were defeated? What if they faced brutal retaliation? Yet Adams, Hancock, Jefferson, and Henry knew that failure was only temporary for those who persist. They understood that bold, decisive action, backed by faith and planning, could transform obstacles into stepping stones. And so it is with every ambitious individual. Obstacles will always arise, but those who persist, who refuse to surrender, will always find a way. Now, let us examine one more principle embedded in their story: faith in a higher purpose. Adams' declaration to Governor Gage, "I have long since made my peace with the King of Kings," reveals a profound truth. Faith, in Hill's philosophy, is a state of mind which may be induced by affirmation or repeated. instructions to the subconscious mind. Adams, Jefferson, and Henry acted not merely out of personal desire, but from a conviction that they were aligned with a greater moral purpose. Faith, when combined with desire and decision, becomes an unstoppable force. Pause and reflect. In your life, are you acting with faith in your purpose? Or are you motivated solely by immediate gain? The men of 1776 knew that temporary comfort was meaningless compared to the eternal satisfaction of achieving what is right. Likewise, your highest achievements will come when your actions are guided by a principle greater than temporary rewards, a principle rooted in purpose, integrity, and vision. Let us also highlight persistence, the unwavering refusal to quit. The road to independence was neither straight nor easy. Messages had to be sent, alliances secured, and courage maintained against mounting threats. Every step required relentless effort. Persistence, Hill would argue, is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith and transform desire into reality. Consider how this applies to your personal goals. Setbacks are inevitable, but those who persist in the face of difficulty always achieve their objectives. Now, take a moment to internalize this. Desire, decision, faith, persistence, mastermind. Organized planning, these 6 principles, clearly illustrated in the struggle for American independence, are the blueprint for personal success. You have the same tools available to you today. The only difference between a dream and its realization is action. And action begins with a definite, unwavering decision. Here is a modern application. Imagine you wish to start a business, pursue a new career, or achieve financial freedom. The first step is to decide exactly what you want. As Adams decided that he would never abandon the cause of his country. The second step is to form a mastermind, a team, mentors, or collaborators who will strengthen your resolve and bring complementary skills to your endeavor. Third, develop an organized plan of action. Fourth, maintain faith in your ability to succeed. Fifth, persist no matter the obstacles, criticism, or temporary failures. The story of the Continental Congress, of Jefferson drafting the Declaration, and of the 56 brave signers illustrates a profound truth. The principles of success are universal and timeless. They apply to nations, organizations, and to each individual willing to claim their potential. The difference between those who live ordinary lives and those who achieve greatness is not luck, it is the mastery of these principles. Notice also the courage inherent in timely action. Indecision is often the greatest thief of opportunity. The delegates could have delayed, argued endlessly, or succumbed to fear. But the decisive action of a few created the momentum that transformed history. Similarly, in your own life, hesitation can cost opportunities, wealth, and personal growth. Prompt, firm, and definite decisions create energy, attract resources, and inspire collaboration, the very factors that convert dreams into reality. Let me leave you with one thought. Before we move to the final part, history does not reward the cautious. It rewards the decisive, the bold, the prepared, and those with faith in their vision. Samuel Adams, Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock, Patrick Henry, and the 56 men of 1776 serve as eternal reminders that great success is always built on the foundation of courageous, unwavering decisions supported by collaboration, planning, faith, and persistence. The next segment will explore how these same principles guided the Continental Army to victory, how ordinary individuals can harness the same strategies, and how you can apply these timeless laws to achieve your highest goals, financial freedom, and personal fulfillment. Now, my friends, imagine standing at the edge of your own destiny, where every choice, every action, every thought can either propel you to greatness or leave you wishing you had acted. Today, we uncover the final lessons from the birth of a nation and reveal how you can harness the exact same principles to achieve wealth, freedom, and success beyond your imagination. The story of 1776 does not end with signatures on parchment. It begins with the real power behind those signatures, the mindset of the men who signed, and the principles they lived by. Samuel Adams, John Hancock, Thomas Jefferson, and their colleagues demonstrate 6 universal laws that govern all success: desire, decision, faith, persistence, the mastermind, and organized planning. First, desire. Adam's desire for freedom was so intense that no bribe, no threat, no fear could sway him. Your personal desire must match that intensity. It must be a burning obsession, clear, definite, and unwavering. Desire is the fuel that turns ideas into action, the energy that propels you forward when obstacles loom. Without it, even the best-laid plans will falter. Second, decision. Look at the decisiveness of those 56 men. They did not procrastinate. They did not hesitate in fear of consequences. They decided and they acted. Indecision is today's silent killer of opportunity. Most people drift through life because they refuse to decide. They wait for perfect conditions that will never arrive. The world rewards the decisive. Decide now what you truly want, and resolve to pursue it relentlessly. Third, faith. Faith is the invisible force that turns thought into reality. Adams trusted the righteousness of his cause. Jefferson trusted in the wisdom of his mind and the guidance of his mastermind. You, too, must cultivate faith, not wishful thinking, but firm, actionable belief that your goals are achievable. Faith transforms fear into courage, doubt into determination, and plans into results. Fourth, persistence. The road to independence was fraught with danger, yet they pressed on. Persistence is simply the sustained effort needed to achieve your goals, despite setbacks or temporary failures. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every delay is a chance to strengthen your resolve. Persistence will separate you from the majority who quit when faced with challenges. Fifth, the mastermind. The Continental Congress itself was a mastermind in action. The delegates combined their knowledge, talents, and resources to create results far beyond the capacity of any individual. Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. Collaboration is not just advantageous, it is essential. Alone, you may achieve some success, but with a mastermind, you achieve the extraordinary. Finally, organized planning. Jefferson's drafting, the Continental Congress strategy, the coordination of colonial militias all required precise, thoughtful planning. Dreams without a plan remain fantasies. Every financial goal, every career ambition, every personal aspiration must be accompanied by a clear plan. Break your vision into actionable steps. Assign deadlines and persist until results manifest. Now, let us apply these lessons to modern life. Imagine you are seeking financial freedom. Begin with desire. Define exactly how much wealth, freedom, and success you want. Next, make a definite decision that you will achieve it, no matter what obstacles arise. Build faith that you have the ability, resources, and creativity to succeed. Surround yourself with a mastermind mentors, colleagues, and supporters who strengthen your efforts. Develop an organized plan, breaking your ultimate goal into actionable steps. Finally, commit to persistence, knowing that temporary setbacks are part of the journey. Consider this: every millionaire, every successful entrepreneur, every leader you admire has applied these same principles, consciously or unconsciously. They decided what they wanted, formed a mastermind, planned meticulously, acted with faith, and persisted relentlessly. The Declaration of Independence is a historical example, but the method is universal. It works for nations, corporations, and individuals alike. Here is a truth I want you to ingrain in your mind. The power to shape your destiny resides within you, just as it resided within Adams, Jefferson, Hancock, and the 56 men who risked everything for freedom. The same universal laws they applied are available to you now. Wealth, influence, freedom, these are not accidents. They are the result of deliberate action in alignment with these principles. Think of every decision you have postponed, every opportunity you have ignored, every fear that has held you back. The same courage that allowed Adams to reject bribes, Jefferson to defy prosecution, and Hancock to challenge the crown is available to you. Courage is a choice of decision, and every choice you make shapes the trajectory of your life. Now, let us take one more lesson from history, the compounding effect of decisive action. One decision leads to another. The decision to hold the Continental Congress led to the Declaration, which led to revolution, which led to independence. In your life, each definite decision creates momentum. One right decision triggers another, forming a chain reaction that multiplies your results beyond imagination. This is why hesitation is so costly. The world moves forward, opportunities pass, and those who delay remain stagnant. Do not allow fear, doubt, or indecision to rob you of your potential. Decide today, act immediately, persist relentlessly, and surround yourself with supportive minds. The universe will respond to that energy, aligning circumstances, people, and resources in your favor. Remember, true success is never just about money. It is about freedom, the freedom to live your life on your terms, to pursue your purpose, and to leave a legacy. The men of 1776 understood that principle intuitively. They risked everything for liberty, because they recognized that some things are far more valuable than comfort or safety. Similarly, your life's most meaningful goals demand courage, commitment, and action. As we conclude this journey, I leave you with a challenge. Identify the one decision you have been avoiding, the one step you know will move you closer to your dreams, and act on it today. Harness the principles of desire, decision, faith, persistence, mastermind, and organized planning. Let them guide you. Let them inspire you. Let them transform your life just as they transformed a nation. History proves that the audacious, the decisive, and the persistent succeed. Today, you stand at your own edge of destiny. Will you act? Will you decide? Will you persist? The power is within you. The principles are eternal. Apply them, and you will achieve results that will astonish even yourself. Remember this: freedom, wealth, success, they are not given. They are claimed. They are earned through clear purpose, decisive action, faith, persistence, collaboration, and planning. Stand tall, make your decision, and let your life become your declaration of independence.